Welcome everybody to another episode of HomeKit Insider. You've got me, Andrew O'Hara, here with me, my pal, and the man known for doing impressions of people doing impressions. It is Steven Robles. You should see him do Jim Carrey doing French Stewart. It's great. It's fantastic.
I was about to try it, even though I have zero impressions in my back catalog, but I don't know who that second person is you said. Who did you say?
French Stewart?
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
So French Stewart, he is a comedic actor. He was best known for like Third Rock from the Sun, but he also did this whole cameo spot on Community, the show, where he played just a guy who looked like French Stewart and ran an impersonator's company. He's like, I gotta catch in on looking like French Stewart while people still know who French Stewart is. And here's, I don't even know who French Stewart is. I don't even know.
I like it though. I've seen Community. I know who Jim Carrey is. The unmitigated gall. There we go. I did a Grinch impression because, you know, we're nearing the holidays. I like his Grinch. It's very controversial. I like his Grinch. Anyway, we actually have a lot of HomeKit news. Follow-up. Listeners reaching out. The HomeKiteers. Let's get into it. Number one, we have a new Matter over Thread smart lock specifically for our EU community. This is Matter over Thread, the Nuki, N-U-K-I. We'll put a link in the show notes. For Europe, and this is interesting because I actually posted about the Yale lock recently, and there were a bunch of EU people that were like, we don't get your locks because our locks are more complicated and stuff. I don't know how or why, but they are. And so here you go. This is you for the EU users, I think also UK, and a Matter over Thread, so it would work in HomeKit because we got that in the latest Matter spec and iOS updates. So, boom. There it is.
Nuki's been around for a while. I think this is like their V4 or something, if I remember. Okay. Something like that. So they've been around. Like they're a good brand. So I'm excited to see that this is also just like the first one that has like Matter and Thread and everything just built in from the gate, I think. Not even like requiring a firmware update.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now you can get it with Wi-Fi or without. No Wi-Fi, it's much cheaper, 169 euros. That has Matter, and I assume Thread because it's Matter over Thread. The Wi-Fi version's like $110 more. So, and in my experience, you go with the Matter over Thread. You know what I mean? Matter over Thread. You don't even need, most of the time, you don't even need Wi-Fi and a smart lock. Like, it's just going to drain your battery ridiculously. HomeKit doesn't work. I don't know about Matter, but HomeKit does not work over Wi-Fi. So, yeah. Exactly. So we'll put that link in the show notes. Also, Matic. Andrew had put this link in, and then Mike and I talked about it last week. The new robot vacuum that's coming out next year, a different style. Let me see if I can pull it up. Where did you hear about this? Was this a CES thing or?
No, I just saw it. Someone talked about it on Twitter. I was like, oh, this looks very cool.
It does look very cool. This is the vacuum mop thing. It looks like a very different style, Matic, M-A-T-I-C. Well, we talked about it last week, and then the owners, founders, people from Matic actually reached out to us because I had a question of where's the dirty water bin, because there's actually no dock for the Matic. It's all self-contained. And I'll go to, if you're watching at youtube.com/HomeKit Insider, I'll see inside they have the dust bag and then a water bin. And I was like, where'd the dirty water go? Well, Matic reached out and actually said there's no dirty water tank because they collect both wet waste and dry waste in the same bag. Dirty water tanks get smelly and moldy and are nasty to clean. I agree. Dirty water tanks get smelly and nasty. They can smell. So actually, it's interesting that the dirty water goes into the same bag, and that's why there's no dirty water anything. So interesting take on this. And they said they would let us try it, I think, when it finally launches. You can reserve yours now, launching next year. But interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the price is high, but it's also it's not that ridiculous when we're looking at the high-end Roborox, Ecovacs, stuff like that. Like, it's not that far off.
$1,500 now, which is supposedly a sale price. $1,800 will be later. But I'm going to talk in a little bit about the Deebot X2, which is also $1,500. So it's not like it's not wildly out of scope. But it's cool. Cool new take on the robot. Speaking of robot vacuums as well, SwitchBot has actually announced that Matter and HomeKit support, well, we have to see when it comes to HomeKit, but robot vacuums is coming up in the new Matter spec, and they've said that for the K10 Plus and S10 robot vacuums, they're going to support Matter with those robot vacuums, and then therefore this thing's about to jump off a ledge. Why in the world would you do that? So I was just looking at the other thing. They're saying that it'll be in Matter, and then you'll be able to use it in home. And correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, these are robots that they're coming in January, and they will have Matter. These are not currently available robots.
No, I think one of them is. I think the scroll up so I can see those model numbers. I think it's a K10 Plus. I think that one's available now because I think I have it over here. It's very cool. If that's what I'm thinking of, it's very tiny and it's designed for apartments and townhomes and stuff, which I love. It's also, because it's so small, it can just navigate in between like your chairs and stuff better. So this thing is really cool. I like this one a lot for a smart home vacuum cleaner. So I'm excited to know that it is getting Matter support because I use it. It's what I actually use in my studio because I don't need a full massive one, and it can go in between things a lot more easily.
Nice.
So that's cool. And then the other model, if I remember my knowledge correctly, the other model is the one that has that you plug in to the water lines that automatically does that stuff, or is that a different one?
I think you might be right. I found the K10.
And that does come in January.
Okay, yes, yeah. That's that one. The K10 Plus is on Amazon right now. You could buy it. $500 usually. There's a $100 coupon right now, at least here in the U.S., so $400 you could buy this thing.
I wish I had gotten it out to show you guys, but it's tiny. It's literally like a personal pizza size, but a robot.
Oh, Pizza Hut personal pan pizza. Did you do Book It when you were a kid? Was that still a thing?
Heck yeah, I did, and we got to go.
I love Book
They would
It.
take us in a limousine to our local Pizza Hut, and we'd get to eat the pizza buffet. It was very good.
Yes. Loved it. Loved Book It. But anyway, so this is a little nice tiny pizza pie vacuum. So we'll put the Amazon link if you're interested in that. We'll have Matter. Wiley SwitchBot has promised. Again, never buy hardware with the promise of software for the future. But
they have delivered
cool.
Matter on other products, so
they
have some pedigree there.
SwitchBot has a good track record for sure. Well, I was going to get into the more robot vacuums in a minute, but more news. The Qi2, excuse me. I was like Q2. No. Qi2 wireless standard. It will now launch before the holidays this year in 2023, and hoping that now that it is officially launching, we'll get those Qi2 chargers and battery packs and such that we have been hearing about for several months. We've reported here on the show. I'm excited for Qi2, Andrew. Are you? You excited for Qi2?
I am so excited for Qi2. And
so
I feel
excited.
like even our headline does not convey to me what was the biggest thing, which is that iPhone 15 will be what it's basically saying is like the first Qi2 device certified, or one of the first. Because as we talked about on the show, like iPhone, the 15 series, it has Qi2, but it's not like enabled and it's not certified. It is an uncertified Qi2 device out on the market. And I believe it's going to require a firmware update to enable this because it has to be fully certified. I mean, they had to certify the spec first, and then they had to certify all the individual products. So Apple and iPhone 15 will be, I think, like the first, and then we have new products coming from Anker, Belkin, Mophie. There's several prominent ones that have already been announced, and then the WPC, the Wireless Power Consortium, says there's like over 100 items that are currently being certified. So we're probably going to see a ton in CES, and at least probably a few here before the holidays.
That's very exciting. I've been excited for Qi2 since the iPhone launch, and so let's get it. I'm looking for new battery packs. I'm still using Apple's MagSafe battery pack, which is good. It has lightning, and I'm trying to eliminate lightning from everything.
The one thing, we don't have this in the notes, but this was a minor update since we're talking about chargers and everything. Mophie updated their travel charger, Steven, and they brought a more eco-friendly fabric on the outside, and two, fast charging for Apple Watch. They upgraded the module.
Ooh.
I told you, Steven, I told everyone that Apple was discontinuing those original modules and everything was going to be fast charge, and that's what we've been seeing. They're doing new manufacturing runs, and they basically have no choice but to do the new modules. So we're getting a lot of products adding fast charging, which is just about time because it's been years, and there's so few things that have it. Like Nomad, their recent launches, like still having those old modules in there, it drives me bonkers.
Right. Well, very cool. All right. Good new modules coming out. One other follow-up from listeners, and then we're going to do some mini reviews on cameras and vacuums and such. The HomeKit Secure Video thing. I think I said on last week's show about power over Ethernet cameras, like from Unify, and those not going into HomeKit Secure Video. And I had several people reach out. Apple Home Life reached out, and I forget several others. But they told me and informed me about this service/app called Scrypted with a Y, Scrypted. And apparently there are a bunch of people out there using this, running it alongside Homebridge, that will let you bring certain cameras into HomeKit Secure Video through Homebridge. So there's actually several, again, reached out, told me about their setup, but there's several people using the Unify power over Ethernet cameras, and they record it to the hard drives in their Unify system, but also using Scrypted, get that feed into the Home app, and it's recorded in HomeKit Secure Video, and it's recorded like to iCloud. And so they get the recordings right there in the Home app as well. Now this is like double hacky because you got Scrypted and Homebridge running both at the same time. And in my experience, I've been trying to do less and less Homebridge things because sometimes it could just be a little wonky. But the people that have this set up said the camera feeds works really well, and it works. So apparently, if they have plugins like with Homebridge and stuff, you can get non-HomeKit Secure Video cameras, like power over Ethernet cameras, into HomeKit Secure Video. I didn't even know that was possible, but it's possible. So there you go.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll put a link to scripted.app in the show notes if you're interested in that. Now, speaking of cameras and HomeKit Secure Video, the embargo lifted recently on this product, which is the Aqara E1 Camera. This is a pan and tilt camera from Aqara, and it is one of the most inexpensive, not the most inexpensive. There is like a couple Eufy cameras that are like $40-something, but this is one of the most inexpensive HomeKit Secure Video cameras you can get. This is HomeKit Secure Video, pan and tilt. You do not need the Aqara hub to use it. It's got a HomeKit code right on the camera, plugs right into the HomeKit app, and I've been using it for the past week or so. It's really good. It's a good camera. It's got night vision, has human tracking, so we'll actually like follow a human as it passes by in front of this camera. It's got good privacy modes. You can put it into like the sleep mode, and the little camera will turn all the way around, lens down, and so you have like a privacy mode here. It is 2K resolution, but as we all know, HomeKit Secure Video does not support 2K. So you get 1080 in the Home app. You have to go to the Aqara app for the 2K. You also need to go to the Aqara app for the pan and tilt controls, because HomeKit does not have pan and tilt controls. But you can actually set certain positions of the camera, so you can save some favorite positions and jump to those positions in the Aqara app, but also create scenes that go over to HomeKit, and you can use those scene triggers to go to saved positions in the Home app. So if you want to create a couple scenes and say like, look to the left or look to the right, you can actually hit those scenes and the pan and tilt camera will move according to those positions that you've set up in the Aqara app and synced those scenes to the Home app. So pretty cool. Two-way audio, you could speak through it. Again, like night vision, all that. And 101-degree field of view, pretty good. But yeah, it's a good camera. And $60 for HomeKit Secure Video on a decent camera, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And I'll show you, here it is. Here's the camera. Look, there it is. Looking at my pool right now. Live view of the Aqara E1. It's nice. It's a nice camera. $60. It's a good deal. There's a sale. Sale's already over, because as the Aqara sales go, they last like 36 hours. It's always as we record or before. So, sorry, no sale. Yeah. Maybe Black Friday. Maybe you'll get a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe that. So that's the Aqara E1, link in the video or podcast show notes and the video description. Now you got something, the Belkin Boost Charge Pro. Which one is this? Because they have 1,000 boost charges. Which one are you
This is
talking
their
about?
all-new one.
Oh, that thing. Yes.
They're all new ones, Steven. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I wanted that.
So, here we are. It's the Boost Charge Pro 2-in-1 MagSafe dock. I assume all those words are in the title somewhere. Has a very nice long, about my arm length, of a USB-C cable built in. It's a braided cable, which is a nice touch here. So braided cable, and it's all covered in like this soft touch, like silicone like material. It feels really nice. You have the Apple Watch puck here in the back, as you can see if you're watching the video. Sticks out perfectly flat. It is a fast charging puck, so you're going to get like the best speeds possible, and it's all chromed out. So this it's even like a darker chrome here on the space black or charcoal, whatever version this is. I like it. This is really cool. And then the top here, it sits flat if you want to set like, AirPods or another Qi device. But then it also pivots up, so that you can plop your phone on there. Even the arm, like the metal arm that like rotates up with the stand, that's even chromed out, so it just looks really nice. It feels very sturdy. There's a lot of weight to this. Like, if someone breaks in, this is one of the things that I would be using, just swinging this around. It's got some heft to it for sure. But yeah, it's got the MagSafe grip there. Phone works both ways, so of course you're going to get standby mode, and it's unique because they don't have the white charging puck. It's not a bright white MagSafe puck. This is Apple certified 15 watts, but a different surface texture covering the MagSafe module. So it's just more of a unified experience. It's very simple, looks really sleek and modern. I like this. This is very cool.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Can you buy it? Can you buy it right now is the question. Is it available?
I think so.
You think so? I'm trying to find it.
Apple only situation?
Oh, I bet you it is. Apple.com/shop. Let's see. Let's browse the web together. Let's go to the store. And let's go to iPhone accessories, right? Here's the accessories. I got to say, finding accessories on Apple Store can be a little complicated. I'm not going to lie.
They don't make it easy. I want just a freaking store from them sometimes. And you got to jump through hoops and go and filter and...
How are you supposed to even search for boost charge? Because there's like an arrow in the middle of it.
Okay. Here's what you do, Steven. This is what you actually do, is you go to another website that reported about it, like you Google the Apple Insider article, and you copy our link because it's faster than literally trying to find it through Apple. But there you go.
I did find it. Yeah, it's $130. Might be. Is it an Apple exclusive? I mean, it's here on the Apple Store.
I think so. Yeah, available in sand and charcoal. I think are the colors.
Charcoal. All right.
They're
well, it looks good.
Tones.
Yeah, it looks good. I do like it. That's nice. All right. That link will also be in the show notes. Real quick, I'll do another kind of mini review for a not-so-mini product. The Deebot new robot vacuum, which is the X2 Omni, their new flagship from Ecovacs. This thing sucks. I like making that pun all the time because it's a vacuum. Andrew's eye roll. It was amazing. Do you have one of these in your hand? I'm just curious.
I think I do. I have not played around with it too much, though. We just had 2 other robotic vacuum cleaners go up on the channel.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so I've been busy with the vacuums.
Yeah,
and
so
that new SwitchBot one.
Yeah, there's a lot of vacuums out there right now. Yeah, I'll be real. So this one I got to test. It's interesting because it's actually more compact. Both the dock is smaller than like previous Deebots, like the T20, and the actual robot is smaller, slightly smaller, and it's square-shaped. It's got a square head at least, and then kind of a rounded butt, we'll say. But the square head, and it doesn't have that like round nubbin on the top, like that round big dial. And so the fact that it has a lower head actually helps it clear more objects. Like I've seen it going under more things because it's shorter, we'll say. So there you go. The clearance is 3.74 inches, so it can get under some counter tops and things like that, or cabinets. And I've seen it go under like some folding chairs I had and all that. So it's a compact nature, lets it get into more places. It has these spinning mops. It has the raising mops, so it'll vacuum and mop all in the same run. Mops lift when it goes over carpet. 8,000 Pascal suction units or whatever that is. So strong.
That's a lot for the suction. I mean, now, before we say, wow, that's the coolest, I've heard from other companies that they did like a lot of testing and there was like a threshold where the amount of extra debris that they picked up was so minimal it wasn't worth it, and it became so loud at those levels. So yes, it has that 8,000. You probably won't use that maximum, but I'm wondering if I think they have like a carpet boost mode that probably ramps that up specifically then. But for the most part, you won't need it. But I mean, like that SwitchBot one, that little mini guy, it's at like 2,500. Others are usually like 5,000 to 6,000 is what we see. So 8 is pretty high for the amount of suckiness on a vacuum.
That's correct. It does. And like you were saying, there are settings for like the boost the suction. Boost the suction. I'm trying to find it here. There's so many settings. This one also has some quote-unquote AI features, which I'll just say, I don't know where it is. There is a suction boost for carpet. I'll just say that. And I don't have the vacuum cranked to the highest setting because you can control how much it sucks and how much it vacuums when it runs. This one is supposedly powered by AI. It has like an AI VI mapping thing. And supposedly is like better at obstacle avoidance, has dual laser LiDAR, things like that. I have found that with the AI features enabled, it was like a little more erratic. It functioned a little more kind of like, I don't know where I'm going, you know, and it would kind of like do these like weird patterns at first. Looking at the logs and the actual maps, it did get the whole room, but it seemed less methodical than like my Deebot T20, which I absolutely love. It's the white circle. It has the mops and the lifting mops, hot air drying, hot washing and all that, like this one. The T20 did a little more like methodical line back and forth. And I just found it to be just a little more like just straight. This is the T20 if you're wondering. And again, had all the same features of the mopping, but it has the nubbin on top and it's larger so it doesn't get in those smaller crevices. So I found that this does well. I disabled the AI features for now, and I find that it actually does a little better navigating. And we'll see if there's like firmware updates to that and see if it gets better over time. This also does have a camera and records video clips. So if you don't want a camera, maybe look back at the T20. But this one has a camera, video manager, all of that. $1,500 right now. There are some big deals, like $300 something off for like the holiday season. But honestly, I still love my T20, and the T20 is like $800 right now. Still does the mop lifting, washing the mops, hot air drying. The little bit bigger of a
clearance on the mop. Do you know how much does it lift the mop up in the air?
I think these two are pretty similar. I'll have to look. This one actually said the X2. These are big questions here, Andrew. These are like life questions, okay?
Well, so while you look, the reason is, like, especially in our testing, we have pretty high pile carpet in Harrison's room, and even some of the vacuums will go up like around like 6 millimeters. Like the Roborock one, I think, is at like 6, and it can still just grease the top of that carpet because like the weight of the vacuum just also presses it down, like it sinks a little bit. So even with the clearance, it kind of sinks a tiny bit into the carpet, and it can still hit just that top edge. So if you have anything more floofy, your mop is going to hit. So there have been some, like I just tested one that has a 12 millimeters of clearance over a centimeter, and that has been the best. Like that has been easily enough to clear the carpet, and there's no residue transference of water and dirty water onto carpet, anything like that. So I'm curious at how, because I have not checked yet on how high the clearance is for the mop on the new X2 or whatever it is.
Thank you for stalling. Appreciate it. This, so the T20, the one I was talking about before, has a 9 millimeter mopping pad plate lifting. Now one is 9 millimeter, and I was trying to see if the tech specs had it down here, but at the top, this one actually says 15 millimeter mop lifting function.
Okay.
That's a lot of millimeter of mop lifting.
That's a lot of millimeter.
That's a lot of millimeter. So yeah, this one it's lifting the mops, it seems like, more so than the T20.
So I will say too, not to to be clear on things, so when it's like lifting the mop, it also depends on like the type of mop that we're looking at. So something like the Ecovacs, the Eufys, some of the other ones, they're those rotating mop heads, and they can have some like bristles and whatnots. I feel like those need more clearance because the mop is almost is like thicker versus the Roborock that uses Vibra-Rise shimmy pads that shimmy on your floor, and I feel like they don't need to go up as much because they're so thin. Like they're not as they don't hang down as much. Right. So I think Ecovacs has to go higher.
And this one says 0.6 inches, which I just did the conversion, is 15 millimeters. So 15 millimeter, 0.6 inch raising of the mops. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Raising of the mops.
Raising of the mouth. Yeah, maps.
It sounds like what they do when like an executive retires. Like, oh no.
That's exactly.
Our CEO is retiring.
That's
the 21 mop raising salute.
21 mop salute. That'd be pretty cool if you had like 20 of these X2 robots and you just see the mops lifting up and down, kind of like a salute. That'd be fun. Anyway, we have one more small review for, pun intended, SmallRig. What you got there, Andrew?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. It's not super smart home related, but it's just so cool techie wise that we had to talk about it. This is the SmallRig Video Creator Kit for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it is awesome. It's so awesome. So this is the the rig if you're watching on video, but basically it's a metal frame that goes around your iPhone. So right here at the top, little button, and it just pivots open. So nice. Take your iPhone and you just slide it right in there. It's got like a rubberized kind of lining so that it stays nice and smooth, and boom, almost boom, there, clicks into place. Make sure it's all the way clicked in, and you're good to go. And you've got these handles which super easily come off, because if you play with SmallRig stuff, they've got all sorts of like magnets and clips and all wacky things. So these things, they just clip right on there, and they're like ridiculously strong and holding on in place. They do so many nice things with like the SmallRig stuff. So like you have your grips on the side, bottom opens up. There's a little Allen wrench that you can use to like move pieces around. And the Allen wrench like holds in magnetically, so it just like snaps into place. But yeah, so tons of like anchor spots all over this. So there's like your tripod mounts on the top and the bottom that you could use to put it onto a tripod or attach other accessories on the top. There's cold shoe mounts here and on the left hand side, so top and the side. You get cold shoe mounts there. These arms, so these can actually go this way. So if you're doing, selfie style or TikToks or shorts, move it this way. You can film in the vertical orientation, still covered.
Sheesh.
And finally, the best thing right here on the right, I guess you could put it on the left because all these are modular, is a shutter button. You can press this and start shooting, triggering the camera app.
Wait, how does it connect?
Bluetooth. A Bluetooth shutter button right
there. So do you have to charge the handles?
That's a good question. I don't even know how do you do what you do.
That's why I was curious. Like if
I think I know it's battery. There's just a little coin cell battery.
Oh wow.
There's a little coin cell battery in here.
Sheesh.
Which also, by the way, this thing slides off. So you can take the shutter with you. Like if you mounted that, and you can have a little pocketable shutter that you can just trigger in your palm.
Get out of here. I want this immediately.
So
wow.
That just clips right back into place.
That's amazing.
As you can kind of see from the images that you pulled up there, this has like mounts here, so you can attach things. It comes with a filter in the box, and I have not tried this. Oh, we can try it right now. Steven.
Try right now.
Steven, I want to know.
What's happening?
Does this work with Moments lenses? Because they have, looks like a bayonet system here. Let's see.
My.
I'm curious. Oh, no, I don't think so. Dang it. Nope. Sheesh. It might be the last generation of the Moment lenses. Because these don't go in there, which is a bummer.
Man, this is awesome.
They do allow that bayonet system to connect filters and stuff like that SmallRig makes. So
amazing.
This is very cool.
I
like
love
it.
that they also have a cold shoe mount that can like hold a hard drive, like a Samsung SSD. So if you want to record ProRes
Yep.
to an external drive, this is genius. Genius. Oh my word. That's sweet. $100.
Put this now.
I want it immediately. Yep, I do. That's pretty sweet. That's nice.
I have this green one, which is like the Brandon Lee version.
Wow.
So it's like this forest green that just looked. I mean, come on.
That's cool.
That
That's
looks.
cool. It would look green and blue. It would look good with my blue titanium. Look, they even show an Apple MagSafe battery pack that fits in that little hole. That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. So good. All right. Oh, that's extremely cool. We'll put a link in the show notes. Last thing before we go today, we had one listener question. This is from Tara, or T-Bear on Mastodon. Andrew, I think you have more experience with this than I do, so I'm going to ask you. We're coming to the holiday season, 'tis the season, and people are in the market. I know Tara asked about this, but others have asked too, about the like holiday lights for outside, inside. You got Nanoleaf, Twinkly, Hue. All of them are making these kind of holiday-specific lights. I know you've tried some of these, Andrew. Which do you recommend for someone looking for HomeKit lights?
Well, the good news and the bad news is that they've just all been good. I have not had a bad set of these holiday lights. It depends on what you're using them for. Like, I know the new Philips Hue ones work outdoors, which is very handy. Twinkly has just that badass like camera mode, like you put it on like your tree or your shrubbery,
yes,
and then you scan it with the camera and it like 3D maps your lights.
Ridiculous.
And then it can trigger effects across them, like waves, snowfall coming down,
yes,
like whatever it is, which is just really, really cool.
That is cool.
So it depends on which one, like what your setup is, Tara. Like,
that's a tough choice.
I am going to try the new Nanoleaf ones because I have not tried them yet. I have tried like the Twinkly, I have tried the Hue, and no issues with either of them. I love my Hue setup, so I like Hue a lot. Twinkly's got that cool camera thing. Nanoleaf, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we've seen others too. What's that other? There's another one that was just announced.
I know.
Steven.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to pull them all. This is the Nanoleaf. They're over Matter, $90 for a string there. And then I'll put that link in the show notes. And then also the Twinkly, they have a bunch of different products. You can get the string lights, candles, and all of that. Those vary $50 upwards, to several hundred. And I was looking for the Hue ones, and the Hue ones was like, sorry, it's not Christmas anymore. And it was like they haven't updated their website since last December, apparently. But the Hue ones are like $220 or $360 for their Festiva string lights. You do get 250. It's a 65-foot string, so it is pretty long. But that's that. Govee has some lights too that you can use outside for the holidays. That was one other brand. I'm not sure if that's who we're thinking of.
I don't know, but is Govee HomeKit?
Some of Govee stuff is. That's a good question. If I find a Govee with HomeKit, I'll put it in the show notes. But I don't know if it is. They're supporting Matter. Oh no, wait a minute. This is their Matter FAQ. Anyway, don't scratch the Govee. Everybody stop! Don't look at me. Stop. No Govee. Don't. Never mind. But I'll put links to the Twinkly, the Hue. So you would say, I mean, it's just depending on budget and use case.
It's kind of just depends on like your setup and what you have. So if you do have a big Hue setup, and if you wanted to use like a Hue motion sensor, like they're stupid fast. Like they're some of the fastest ones out there for motion sensors, and they have an outdoor one. So if you wanted to put them on like an outdoor motion sensor, like the Hue ones would be great to go to.
Right.
If you're like really into the animated effects, I would go Twinkly. And if you just want kind of your general purpose ones, you don't want the hub that you need for Philips Hue, you don't need the effects of the Twinkly one, then I would go Nanoleaf, because I think the Nanoleaf might actually even be a little bit more affordable than the other two.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your universal platform one, and it gives you the benefits of Matter. I mean, I guess the Philips Hue one can do that too with the Matter support if you did that. So
yeah,
they all have like their slight edge for whatever it is that you're looking for.
Right.
So just figure out what that feature is and then pick the best one.
I do want to mention I actually figured this out. So Govee, they have a couple outdoor lights, and these actually do support Matter. And I actually heard someone talk about these. These are the Govee permanent outdoor lights. So if you want to set up lights for the holidays, but then leave them up all year round, and you can kind of illuminate your house in different ways, these Govee permanent outdoor lights, they're not inexpensive. This is like $700 for, I'm not sure how long, but they support Matter. And so with Matter, HomeKit, you could do all of that. And then these are meant to stay out there all year round. And these are kind of an interesting style. It's not like tiny little holiday lights that you might have seen before. So Govee, they have Matter, and that works with HomeKit. So yeah, you could try these too. That looks pretty cool.
There you go.
There it is.
Was it Maris? Did Maris have some? I don't know. Now I'm spiraling because I just can't.
Maybe they would send us
covered one, and I don't know.
Maybe they send us some demos. You know, maybe we would know. But anyway. So those are some holiday light links. Thanks for those questions. Keep sending them in. If you have questions about anything we talked about today, you can leave a comment on the YouTube or reach out to Andrew and myself. All the social media handles are in the show notes. YouTube.com/HomeKit Insider to watch us on video as we share the different images and things we're talking about. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
See you, everybody.